Hello everyone and welcome to today's video on Bitcoin. I am CF Crypto TA, also known as Crypto Dunk, and in this educational video we are gonna go through Bitcoin, this amazing asset, and how is the technical picture looking and what we can expect next. So first of all, I want to dive straight away into the emotional state. So we use the fear and greed index to check how is the emotional um, state of the market right now. So we can see that the meter is on the fear, and we saw pretty much the last 2 weeks fear and extreme fear. So what we can tell from that, we can see here analyzing the past year, we have period of greed and period of fear. Generally, period of fear are good period to buy in, and period of greed are good period to sell off. Now, if we look at this period of a year, which it was August through September, so the end of August through September, we go over here, and you can see that the end of August, we basically were in the process of peaking. And then if we look at the uh, fear, overall fear, we have the whole period from the end of May to July, which obviously was where we were bottoming out. There was obviously, if we look more closely, we can see that from this week there was high volatility in this area. So people was continuously getting flashed out, washed out, especially retail traders, so us, and a lot of bigger, um, how do you say, like bigger traders and um, capital holders and institution and so on were entering in this area over here. We have the same back in the end of September. If we look at the end of September, again, you can see here 20th of September to 27th of September, we were bottoming out and then we pushed up, and we are now in the same process. So this is a one angle that we can look at. We can look at the emotional state of the market and decide whether is it a good time to entering, or we should wait a little bit more? Well, you need to be able to answer this for yourself because you need to have your plan. Now, another thing I would like to spend 2 words on is emotion. Guys, you need to understand that in the market, it's not important, it's crucial that you stay as calm as you can. So you need to block the emotion out. You need to be as analytical and rational in the way that you are just following the strategy that you have and the plan that you have, and just block out the greed and the fear that you may feel. First of all, if you feel strong emotion, it's probably because you are over leveraged or over positioned in the market. Second, when you feel fear or greed, that's the worst time to take decisions. So if you're really scared at the moment or you're really greed, just take a walk, refresh your ideas, and take a new look at the picture, at the technical picture. Because I can assure you, if I was here and I entered the market at whatever 30K, and I see the price going up and up and up and up, and greediness is start to build up. I'm getting greed. I'm getting greed. My, let's say my target, because I look at the technical picture was saying, okay, this is a good support level. We keep bouncing off there, and here we have a pretty clear um, resistance level. So probably a month before I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna buy here and sell here. It makes sense. Okay, so I start to go up and up and up. It comes here, and I keep watching, and I say like, oh, the trend is strong. I mean, we're gonna keep going up. And what happened? The marks start to sell off. You get trapped in the sell off, and you start feel pain. You give back half of the profit basically, and maybe you arrive here and you sell because you're completely fearful that the market will go back down. And what happened? The market take off again to break through the resistance. Okay, so it's really important that if you have a plan, you stick to a plan. You enter here, you want to sell here, the plan was that one, you follow the plan, you sell, no matter if it goes up, down, sideways, or flip 20 times, it doesn't matter, you just follow the plan. Now, I'm not gonna dwell on the structure, the high time frame structure, because we know already. I told you last time. I just go through few key level and important, which is important to understand. But you already know my theory on Elliott wave, wave five, and the possible correction. So we are still in the correction now. We know. I told you last time, and it looks like we are probably uh, somewhat forming an ascending triangle or coil. Call it how you want to call it. So we have here the main resistance, and then we have we are somewhat forming a coil. You can see. So usually, as I said, triangle they work in a way. They subdivide in 5 waves, and each wave is subdivided in 3 waves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 here 3, then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and then we take off. So that's what I expect right now. Now, I will base that my trades on that plan right now until is invalidated. That's how it needs to be technical analysis. Now we know that here, and we are looking at the picture, we are holding on a major key level. So the support is the 50-week moving average. We managed to somewhat bounce from this level, and we are now retesting it once again. So we know that. Okay, we have an assumption here. We know that's a support level. Now we look at here, we have this key resistance there, and we have the old support over here, which we bounced off, which also align with this bounce over here from the last low. Now, this is the long-term structure. What we can also use is the anchored volumetric weighted average price, which you know I really like, and we anchor it from the top and from the major low over here. Now we can see that we have oh, sorry, this one is, we have a confluence of supports here. So we can understand now that this one is a strong support that Bitcoin must hold. And we are talking about the weekly frame. So on the weekly, Bitcoin has to hold. It doesn't matter if we go down and touch the 42,000 one more time and then come back up. If it does that, it's still holding the weekly support. Now, knowing that, we can then move down to the daily and look at the daily picture. Now, here we have another picture. Oh, first of all, sorry, I forgot. We go back on the weekly, and I want to see my oscillators, my momentum indicators. And we can see that Bitcoin, from the last low to the current possible low, because we haven't got the low in place yet, the possible low is starting to form in some divergences, bullish divergences. We can see it here. So if you see, We have a higher low, higher high, and then a lower low. Now we have here higher low, higher high, and a higher low possibly in place. If that happen, and how it's looking right now, that's a bullish divergence, which is a good bullish bias. Now we look at the stochastic RSI, and we have a confirmation. We have a higher low, a lower high, which was forming a bearish divergence, which developed in this sell-off. And then here we have a lower low, which is also confluent with the oversold condition. This is a powerful sign. So we have this somewhat bullish sign. We know that, and you need to account for it. Now we move to the daily, and we do our other technical analysis on the daily frame, on the high time frame. What we have here, I would like to bring some volume. We see that the sell-off is starting to somewhat drying because the volume is decreasing, and we have some bullish candles like this one over here, which is we can call it a bullish engulfing. However, what I don't like from this candle pattern over here is that the bullish engulfing is not at a major low, but is rather inside the previous price action. I want to see the bullish engulfing in this area over here. That would be, or something like here. That would be a really strong candlestick sign. However, nevertheless, we take account for it, and we can see that actually we bounce off the support over here, which we were previously talking about. Now, what we can see also on the oscillators is that we are touching the oversold condition on the RSI, and we have a flipping of the stochastic RSI to a bullish cross that we can see here. We have the shorter momentum, which is breaking above the longer term momentum. With this candle over here, which was a strong candle, we can see that this was a bullish strong candle, which almost doesn't have any wick. So it's telling us that right now, in this area, the bullish are in control and someone is buying. We have this bias over here with the volume. Now, what we can do, we have this area over here, which we highlighted as a area of interest as a resistance, but we can see that actually on the daily, it's a bit lower. So we lower our resistance to here. The short-term resistance that we are interested in is this one over here. Now I'm gonna flip to the Bitstamp because I have already some structure which I drew. Now we are on this area over here. We know so far that also the 200 MA on the daily structure is providing support. So we have a really strong support here, guys. We can see here with the volumetric weighted average price, these two, the pink one and the blue one, in this area over here, we have the 200 MA. We also have the previous resistance, which we store in support, which is providing support in this area. So we have a cluster of key support in this area. Now let's have a look at another interesting structure. We go down to the 12 hours and we try to analyze what is happening. And I want to use a bit of a fractal view. If we go back to our sell-off in September, we can see that the price form a clear resistance trend line, then it break off and it take off. Similar, what happened, the trend line was, we were able to draw the trend line also on the indicators. This is normal and is really helpful for traders. We can see that the momentum break off, retested the resistance, turned support, and then took off. So what we can see here clearly is that is happening a similar pattern. We have a break off. The break off here was with almost no action. Break off of the momentum. We expect a retest here and then probably take off. We are creating now our bias. This is an important step. We are creating our plan here. No, my plan. That's my plan. Now we can also see that, and I highlighted here, we um, bounce off the resistance. We can see we bounce against and push down to retest one more time the previous support level. So what I expect now is the price to slowly go back and possibly touch the previous support. Now what we want to see, and now we lower even more this bar to here, I want to see the support holding here. It's really important. As we can see here, we had a clearly support which was holding, and the price then was able to take off. Now I expect a similar outcome considering the previous history. However, the major and the most important thing for traders is to manage your risk. So it's really important that you protect your capital to fight another day. It doesn't matter whether you're wrong or right, because if you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're right, you're right. What you need to do is when you're wrong, you take the hit, the punch in the face, and you get out. You don't wait. You don't stay there, take off the stop loss, and say, okay, I was wrong, but probably it's just a flash crash. It's going to come back and blah, blah. No, because your account is going to be drawn. You want to exit when you're wrong and re-entering on the next opportunity. There is always a next opportunity, guys. Always. We need to put it in our mind. And this is something that it takes time. I still am learning this. We need to understand that there is always an opportunity, like will always be opportunity that we miss. Here, if the market goes against us and it goes on the other side, it goes in the other side against me, I'm missing an opportunity because I could short there and make more money. Instead, I had a bias and I was believing that the market would bounce off here. So it's important that we understand that we have a certain bias. We need to always try to see both pictures and decide what to do. Now we know that we have a strong resistance, diagonal resistance here, which has been holding us off, and we kept bouncing off this resistance. So we are now approaching it again. We bounced off, and I expect now the price to going back to the 46,500 level. Now here, what is good about this level? This is a good opportunity for me. I'm not saying about you, I'm talking about me, guys. You need to take your decision. I'm showing you my opinion, my bias, and that's it. Take it with take it, bring it home, but don't make it make it yours. So you choose for yourself. Don't follow me, follow yourself, your plan. Now I know that 46,500 is where I want to enter. And what we can see the upside is this one over here, the first resistance. Then we have a second resistance here, and then a major resistance here. So what we drew, I would enter to stay until 58. Now what we know is that our thesis is that if the 46,500 level doesn't hold, then this goes against me. Now I have a 7 reward ratio, so it's a high reward risk strategy and trade. So that's what I'm looking for. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I will get out. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.